about 100 years ago. It's going to be that big. Well, what am I talking about in drones? First of all, classes of drones. These are all Class 1 drones. The FAA recognizes toys, call them something else, Class 1, Class 2. Toys is anything below 4.4 pounds. You go buy those at Radio Shack or Best Buy, and for $50 or whatever they are, you fly them around your living room. That's great. Class 1 drones are from 4.4 to 55 pounds. All of these are Class 1 drones. These are subject to FAA rules and regulations. Class 2 drones, are above 55 pounds. Those are your Predators, those are your Reapers, those are your Global Hawks, those are your military applications. We do not sell those. You have to have a special license to. Let's say we don't sell them generally. We do sell them to the military, but it's a whole other part we're not going to cover right now. So if someone says, well, I'm looking for a drone, Class 1, Class 2, what's your reasons, what's your needs, what's your specifications, et cetera, et cetera. These are all Class 1 drones we have at this show. Okay, I want everybody to memorize all of these right now. Everybody got it? There's a test on this. All right, let's take a look at a couple of these I highlighted in red. Number 1 is roof inspection. I have a personal story for this. I'm from San Diego. I live in a condominium complex. Once every 3 months or 4 months or whatever it is, we have 2 gentlemen that come out to do a visual roof inspection. No instruments, visual roof inspection. They come out in a truck. One guy sits there and they put up the ladder. One guy holds the ladder. I'm all for safety, I get it. And that's his only job, is to hold the ladder. The other guy climbs up on there, walks up on the roof and goes, good. Walks down, they climb away. They charge $5,600 for that evolution. $5,600 for a visual inspection. They don't even videotape it or anything of a roof. How much better of an idea would be to take one of those drones I just flown, get up there, fly over the roof, take video of the whole thing, look at everything. If I see something that looks funny or needs attention, I can hover the drone over and take high resolution images. I can take FLIR images. I can take whatever I want and go back and sit down. Is that a good idea? I think it's a good idea. My homeowner association doesn't, but I think it's a good idea. Cinematography. We've got a couple of cinematography specialists. Sid Moran in the back there works Hollywood. He's done some shows you might have known, some movies. There's a show called Game of something, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, thank you, sir. It's what he said. See the one in the corner back there? When you're looking at a video overhead shot of Game of Thrones, it was done with that drone. They go to Scotland and spends half the year in Scotland where they're shooting. They take all their overhead shots. Compare that to getting a helicopter or an airplane, airspace restrictions, the price, the pilot. I'm a pilot, okay? Still have to pay those guys a lot, insurance, et cetera, et cetera. We'll just put one of those up whenever we want. What a great idea. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. Emergency response, we'll come to and talk about that. Okay, everybody got all these memorized, right? Good. You win a lip balm or something if you memorize it. Real estate is the #1 use for commercial drones in the United States today. #1. This is my summer house that I travel to. Nobody believes me whenever I say that. I can't get it. This is just an example. This is one of our students who started his own business. He has a FAA 333 certification. I'll come to that later. This is just an idea of the packages. If you're going to try and sell a house like this, which is obviously several $1,000,000, you can't just come around and take pictures and go, yeah, here you go. Okay? You need some overhead shots. You need not only the overhead of the home, but the lake down the road, the school down the road, the neighborhood and overall. He did a video where he went around the house, went in the front door, did a 360 around the living room, looked at the kitchen, went out the back door and hovered over the pool. That's an impressive tool to use a drone for when you're trying to sell real estate. This is my pool and tennis courts. Gosh, you guys can't believe me. Homeowners Association, we're talking about security. In my homeowner association, there's a security guard. They drive around their little Prius, drive on the roads, they look for things. God bless them. Thank God we have them. How far do you think they can see when the guy's hiding in the bushes? They can't. Okay. What about a drone running security around, taking video, taking FLIR images? How much increased security can you get from a drone from just a guy driving around in a car? Incredible amount. What a good idea. Sporting events. This is actually University of Maryland. Ladies, I think it's called regatta, crew. Okay. They used to have, when the ladies were rowing, they used to have people in a speedboat come along so that they could film it for ESPN. What's the problem with that? Wake, absolutely. They found that the people closest to the boat were always losing because they're fighting the wake and everybody else is just cruising. So then they came up with a really good idea. They put a cable across the top of the bay, and they were following people as they're going across the bay. Okay, seems like not a bad idea, but there are a couple of problems. Anybody know them? Number one, I've got one shot. I got people tops of bill heads. Interesting, but I'd like to get the side. I'd like to get a close, see the expression on their face. I'd like to get other things. Number two, I'm just going along on my camera here. Number one is way out front, but there's a really exciting race for second place. Which one do I cover? Back and forth. I can't move the camera fast enough. Number three, anybody guess? The cable broke. There's a $50,000 cable camera sitting in the bottom of Chesapeake Bay. Anybody wants to go get it, have fun. Okay. Thank goodness nobody was hurt, but the cable broke. Now they use drones. They use the DJI Inspire Mod 1 that I was flying there for a second. Okay? They can get ladies from the side, they can get overhead shots, they can have 2-3 drones, they can do whatever they want. What a great idea. Anybody here been to a Dallas Cowboys game last year? Jacksonville Jaguars? Good, because I don't like either one of their teams. They both use that DJI Inspire during the commercial TV breaks to fly around the field, take a look at the audience and everything else. What a great idea. Okay, so talking about construction inspections, there has to be visual inspections. Let's take a look at this tower here. There's a problem with it. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I think it's that brick up there that they're pointing to. How can I get up there and inspect that? Well, number one, I can try and get a helicopter. The cost, the expense, the airspace rental, et cetera, I can't get very close. Number two, I can get a very, very brave person to get up there with tons of scaffolding and harnesses and everything to get up there and look at it and take video. Very brave, braver than I am. Number three, this picture was taken with the Phantom 1 drone. Okay? Phantom 1, earlier version of that. Take a drone, fly up there, get all the video and pictures I need, floor if I need it. What a great idea. Powerline inspections. Powerline inspections. Anybody here from Phoenix? Where's everybody from? What do you guys do? Phoenix Power Company, APS I think it's called, uses the big boy over there, the 1000 for all their power line inspections. Hey, what a good idea. All kinds of infrastructure. In the United States, our infrastructure is crumbling. It needs to be inspected. I'm going to ask one more. Anybody from Minnesota? Do people just stay here? This is where you live? In Minnesota, unfortunately, a few years ago, there was a bridge collapse. Very tragic. There were several lives lost. They found out in the post-accident investigation that the problem was a huge crack, stress, whatever. And if anybody had been able to get up underneath the bridge and look at it, it would have been obvious. Even a layman like me could say, hey, why is that big crack there? Okay. Problem is, it's 60 foot high. The only way to do an inspection is to get a truck out there with a ladder, time-consuming, costly, et cetera, et cetera. What about sending up a drone? We have a drone over there that is designed for the camera on the top. It can look up underneath the bridge inspection. In that case, it probably would have possibly could have saved lives. This is actually something personal to me. I was a Navy pilot 100 years ago. I lost a friend who was able to get out of the aircraft, but unfortunately when he's in the water, he had a equipment problem, and he ended up drowning. Okay. This is used by the Sydney lifeguards in Australia. We went and trained them last year. If you are in a lifeguard tower, they are the best trained, intelligent, most athletic people, brave people in the world. Okay? But if I see somebody in trouble, he could be a half mile offshore. It takes time to get out there. Even if I get a jet ski and even if I've got it ready to go, it takes time to get out there. Okay? A drone can get to a half mile in less than 20 seconds. The lifeguard operator gets the drone over the person in trouble, presses a button, and that float drops onto the person in trouble. They hang on to the float until they can go help them. This saves lives. Why isn't every lifeguard station in the United States using this right now? It saves lives. It's a great idea. This is drones. This is the future.
Would you mind if I take a picture of it, please?
Take all the pictures. Paparazzi follow me everywhere, people. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing. I can't. Okay, pipeline inspections. Anybody from Alaska? I don't think you people are anywhere. I think it's up here. Pipeline inspections, both fixed wing and rotary wing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a VIP with us. If you'd please give me a warm welcome to Mr. Silvio from Canada behind. Silvio, go ahead, raise your hand, sir. That's a gentleman, he's very shy. Please give him a big hand. He came all the way here from Canada. Thank you, Silvio. We appreciate your support, sir. Pipeline inspections, absolutely huge. They used to, California, Alaska Department of Resources used to drive a truck along that road. Slow, time consuming, how much can they see? Okay? Crop dusting. All right, this is, anybody tell me what this is? Don't say the Mona Lisa. What's it made of? Anybody? Any guesses? Let's get a little closer. Anybody? Anybody? Sorry? Pancakes? Pancakes?
Coffee mugs.
Paint cans. Paint cans. Okay. Anybody else?
Coffee mugs.
Coffee cups?
Yeah.
Coffee mugs. This company opened up a coffee shop in Times Square. They had a tethered drone flying over 40 feet in the air, taking pictures like this. It did a lot of things. People walking by the street, what's that? Hey, it's a drone flying. What's going on there? What is this Mona Lisa thing? Oh, Joe's Coffee Shop. Let's go have a coffee. How else? What a better way to advertise? Okay, hand out leaflets, hand out free coffee, whatever. In 2011, over the River Thames in England, they had 19 drones fly into the air, and they were all programmed, and they stood in the air, the lights on, and it made the Starfleet emblem. It was advertising the new Star Trek film. Okay, what a great idea. Looking at the sensors, LiDAR, light detection and ranging. Very quickly, the reason we're in the revolution right now, the technology in the drones has increased, the technology is bad and increased, but also the technology in the sensors. When I flew in Desert Storm, the FLIR, forward-looking, the infrared on my aircraft weighed 800 pounds, probably cost millions of dollars, and it was fair at best. Okay, I knew I flew it. You can today buy a FLIR, forward-looking infrared radar system. It'll fit in the palm of your hand, costs $5,000, and is more capable than the one that I had in 1991. It's the increase in technology of sensors that is making drones so effective. And LiDAR is the next big increase. Everybody know what radar is? Radio detection ranging. LiDAR is light detection and ranging. The advantages of LiDAR over radar is, number one, it's lighter. It is less expensive. And number two, it gives you so much more information. Radar, you bounce electromagnetic radiation off something. From the response coming back, you see where it is, how fast it's going, etc., etc. LiDAR, you bounce light off something, laser light. The spectrum of light that I receive, I can tell, are crops healthy, green? Are they overwatered, underwatered? Is there a pest infestation? Something like this. Agriculture is the number 2 use in the United States, especially in the Midwest. It's growing every single day. Farmers can use drones in agriculture and sensors like LiDAR here to increase their crops. Food is going to be a scarce resource soon. This will help increase our yield. Okay, we are going to talk about rules. And the last thing we'll talk about, there's 2 different realms of flying a drone. Number 1 is for recreation. I'm going out having fun. I can fly on public land for recreational drone use as long as I abide with RC rules. RC, does anybody here fly RC? Anybody know a thing about RC? Can anybody spell RC? Tough crowd. All right. RC is radio controlled. Radio controlled rules are listed up there. Very, very reasonable. Line of sight, 400 feet high, not over crowds of people, etc., etc., etc. If you're in a public park, public land, and you want to fly your drone under RC rules, you're allowed to. It's like flying any other RC aircraft. If, however, you want to fly your drone commercially, what do I mean? I want to charge someone for flying a drone. I'm going to take video of his house, sell it to him so he can sell the house, etc., etc. I'm going to charge a farmer for flying over his fields. That's called commercial drone use. Okay? If you get nothing else out of anything I've talked about or said, please understand this. It is illegal in the United States right now to fly your drone commercially unless you have a Part 333 FAA certification. FAA Part 333 certification. Everybody say that, repeat that. Say it in your sleep tonight, okay? I don't want anybody going out and getting arrested. Well, Paul said I could. No, Paul didn't say that. If you want to fly your drone commercially, if you want to get money for any kind of drone flight, you have to have an FAA Part 333. That's as of today, right now. In the future, we're going to have something called an FAA Part 107. I'm not going to get into that. Any questions, please come and see me. About getting your 333, we have a legal expert in the booth right here. Very pretty lady. I'll be glad to introduce you to. She can answer all your questions. we can actually help you get your 333 certification. Don't go flying a drone, charging money for it without a 333, or you will get in trouble. That's all I'm going to say. So everybody understand that? Paul said, okay, good, thank you, all right. Conclusion. We really are in a revolution. There is a bad concept of drones in the United States right now. It angers me, it really frustrates me. You hear about the drunk idiot flying into the White House lawn. You hear about somebody trying to spy on somebody through a window or something using a drone. Can you use a drone for malicious intent? The answer is yes, you can. Can people use cars for malicious intent? Yes, they can. When cars first came around in 1890, 1900, I'm not a historian, there was such a backlash against automobiles. They're noisy, they're pollution, they invade my privacy, they're dangerous. Sound familiar? Do we still have cars today? Yes, we do. Why? Because there's so much good cars, automobiles bring to us. Ambulances, fire trucks, personal transportation. It's the exact same thing with drones. There's so much good potential for drones, we cannot outlaw them or make them bad or anything like that, because some people could use them for malicious intent. We need rules, we need laws, we need regulations, those are coming. But there's going to be a revolution in this country, the same size revolution as there was for automobiles around 1900 or whenever automobiles came out. Highly, highly believe that it's coming. It's going to be in the future. We got a lot of problems to solve. Airspace regulations, rules, laws, absolutely. They had a lot of problems to solve with cars. They did. Worked it out. We're going to work it out with drones. If you want to get a bit part of this exciting field, the explosion, revolution, now's the time to get into it. And people tell me this is the best looking picture of my face. I can't really argue, actually. I don't know. I finished now, but if there's any question, anybody want to? Yes, sir. Good question. So yeah, the question was on the Inspire. Is there a setting that if you do not accidentally land it on the camera, in other words, when it gets close to the ground, can you have it set for automatic? The answer is yes. So I can set it to automatically raise and lower anything above 2 meters or below 2 meters. You could also turn it off. On the Phantom. So on the question is, on the Phantom, can you turn off the collision avoidance? The answer on that is yes. You can turn it off. That's called sport mode. When it's in sport mode, it is exceptionally responsive. It was really designed for racing. Okay? I typically will not fly in sport mode. Everybody, this is my assistant Rob. Give Rob another big hand too. He's been with us all day. He'll be keeping by.
Just want to show you something.
I'll be right there. So you can have sport mode on, and it's exceptionally. But when you turn on sport mode, there is no collision avoidance. If I had the Phantom turned on to sport mode, it would have gone right in the wall. Yes, sir. Go ahead. No, that's third party. So the question was infrared cameras, FLIRs, LiDARs. There's a company right over here called FLIR. Yes, they sell the camera itself. So it's a FLIR, and it's about the same size as the GoPro. They can give you a little more information. There are all kinds of third-party add-ons and modifications stuff. Some I recommend, some I don't. That one I do. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Good question. Yeah, the question was the collision avoidance work on the netting? No. I actually did some testing this morning. It's a brand new bird, yesterday. Anyway, it will work against that pole, but it didn't see the net at all. Is it perfect? No. No. But it's a great step, because I can tell you, when people run into walls, it's, I've got plenty of oops. So, excellent feature. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Collision avoidance will be added to the Inspire?
Will collision avoidance be added in the Inspire? Boy, that's a great question. I hope so. I don't know. They just came out with the Mod 2 on the Inspire, so not anytime soon. Will the Mod 3 or the new Inspire have it? I hope so.
Someone's trying to show you this thing.
Are they looking at it?
It's in games.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate that. Your time. Thank you very much. Our next show starts in about 15 minutes. And getting questions, come see this handsome gentleman right here.
We got to get you back to the home. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Another big hand for this gentleman right here.
And for Paul.
Silvio. Thank you very much.
Try to get back to the home.
Yeah.